there, you know, you got to be ready for anything at any time. So.
I was in the infantry, so I did a lot of ground pounding. And I got a little hands-on, up close and personal, you know, I guess what you could say, kicking indoors, most people would say.
I was driving a fuel truck, I was convoying through dangerous territory. Back then they didn't have Marine Scouts protecting you.
The stuff that no one wants to do, I did a lot of.
I had a friend who passed away over there, so that was a little difficult, but it's a very hostile environment.
Personal judgment, I feel the same, but I don't know what other people might, you know, maybe how my character might have changed. I really don't know.
There's a lot of people who will look fine on the outside when inside they're a mess in there. So you just never know.
PTSD, in the simplest terms, is an anxiety disorder in response to a traumatic experience.
They've been placed in unique, unusual circumstances that are outside the scope of normal experience.
Seeing very horrifying and upsetting things, fearing for your life, can cause PTSD. There are 3 different categories of criteria for PTSD, and the ones that people I think about the most with PTSD are what we think of as the intrusive symptoms, like the nightmares.
A change in sleep pattern is something that's frequently going on.
You know, flashbacks where you're reliving the experience. I think everyone's heard the story of, you know, the car backfires and somebody jumps behind a bush or something like that.
Kind of difficulty re-engaging in things that we think are important.
You know, people with PTSD left untreated often turn to drugs and alcohol, you know, often become social isolators, have trouble functioning in their jobs, have trouble in relationships, and becoming suicidal is definitely a concern.
And that's like, we can't go find people. They kind of have to come to us at first, then we can help you out. And I think that might be a problem these days.
Acknowledging that they need help is not in their makeup. They usually feel that, you know, everything for the country, everything for the mission, everything about you stays behind, and you know your comrades and everybody else are first and foremost.
Oftentimes, it's not the veteran that seeks treatment. It's because a family member has said, "Look, you're just not the same. Something's going on. You need to do something about it."
There are a variety of treatments for PTSD.
Options could include different types of psychotherapy.
What's called dialectical behavioral therapy, which is a form of therapy that teaches skills. There's something called cognitive processing therapy, which is a 12-week cognitive approach.
Medication may be a possibility.
You focus on safety and containment and helping them learn to manage their symptoms.
There's no one thing that says, okay, you know, you need X, Y, and Z.
Tailoring the treatment to the person, you know, and trying to have diverse options, many different things that we can do depending on that person's needs and concerns. Emphasizing the idea of a cure is sort of self-defeating. You know, it's like, okay, we're working toward this goal where all of your symptoms are going to be gone, you're never going to have a nightmare again, and your life is just going to be exactly like it was before. You know, well, you've been through this pretty horrible thing. You've had these experiences, they've left their mark, and that might not be realistic, but, you know, what do you want to have be different in your life? You know, do you want to be able to have really good relationships where you're happy? Okay, so one way you know that you've achieved your goal is that you're having really good relationships with people. You want to have a job that you like and that you're functioning well in, so then you know you've achieved your goal because you've got this job, you get up, you go every day, and you like it.
To me, it's just continuing to serve, you know what I mean? I put my time on the front lines, and now I'm putting it on these front lines, serving the ones who served before me.